Hi, my name is Michael Clifton, and I'm the CEO of Circle 3. In the short time we have together, I'd like to share with you some of our client success stories. Accent Building Restoration was an interesting case in that they were a small contractor with great big long-term goals. They specialized in commercial and industrial painting contracts for strip malls, self-storage facilities, industrial manufacturing warehouses, furniture showrooms, theaters, hotels, etc. They were a fairly young company, in business for about 3 years. It was, about July when we engaged with them, and they had projected to do about $1.75 million in sales that fourth year out. The owner, Andrew Fawcett, had a good business head on his shoulders. His goal was to expand by recruiting other contractors to become hired general managers, kind of forcing them to operate under his strict service plan so he could maintain credibility throughout his organization. As a painting contractor in the Los Angeles area, he had hundreds of contractors competing for the same job opportunities he was after. And like many contractors, he got caught up in a bidding war, all competing on price. Andrew previously worked as a chief chemist for Dunn Edwards Paints, so he knew paint inside and out. In fact, he engineered his own specialty formula that he designed to remain new-looking for extraordinarily long periods of time. 7 to 10 years later, his gloss paint still looked newly painted and absolutely glossy. It was beautiful stuff. Plus, his paint sprayed on and adhered really well to non-porous materials like metals and so forth. In fact, some of his most satisfied clients were self-storage owners. Our challenge was to expose the unique value his paint product had over other products and to overcome the ongoing ethics issues contractors are notorious for. Things like ghost repairs, add-on fees, never starting on time, leaving a great big mess for the other company to clean up, and disrupting the daily business operations. So first we consulted with Andrew and talked about his paint, and based on the discussions, we all agreed that we could put together a durable 10-year paint guarantee, warranting against chipping, peeling, and fading. Next, we implemented a code of ethics and competency program utilizing leave-behind materials, websites, postcards, etc., designed to raise the bar for all contractors to try and aspire to. Then we suggested they focused on the self-storage industry as a niche since they were looking for quick sales right away. Andrew previously told us that it cost them approximately $350 to acquire a new client, when they figured in advertising costs, sales follow-up, gas, everything. Andrew said they had a self-storage show coming up and that he wanted to develop a strategy to really boost new sales. So we told him he needed to offer a low-risk way for self-storage owners to try their services and paint out. He said he could do a public bathroom upgrade and his cost would be about $200. We suggested that would be a great offer as long as he did the upgrade free and perhaps maybe threw in an extra outside storage door. We knew that if he could put his paint up against what they already had up, he would probably win their business hands down. But the free bathroom upgrade was the foot in the door. So we created some very basic postcards and fax flyers, and each week for about 4 weeks before the National Trade Show, we sent them out to every self-storage owner in the country, offering a free bathroom upgrade to the first 50 owners who stopped by the booth, creating some urgency. The results of the strategy were they increased their booth visits by 224% over the previous year. It took them 8 months just to follow up on all the leads that we generated. And after seeing the demo at the show, 34% upgraded immediately to a full paint contract. And 96% of the remaining owners who waited for the free bathroom upgrade eventually upgraded to the full painting contract within 12 months. 3 weeks after the show, Andrew received a call from a public storage corporate representative who received a postcard. Plus, he happened to stop by the booth and also witnessed their live demo. He asked Andrew if his paint would work on one of their troubled spots, which was a steel roof that kept blistering any and all paint due to the extreme heat at their facility in Phoenix, Arizona. Andrew said his paint would withstand the extreme temperatures, which got him the job. So Andrew flew into Phoenix and interviewed contractors in the area. He found one he liked and he told him his situation. He asked if they would consider working as a temporary hire on this one particular job. Andrew said that there was a specific way they needed to represent his company and that if they did a good job and Public Storage was pleased, that he had a lot more leads in the area for additional work, and he would hire his crew full-time as an extension office to his company. The contractor was obviously very excited about the potential opportunity, and Andrew shipped him the paint, and they completed the job to satisfaction. Andrew was true to his word, and he hired the crew. A month later, Public Storage called and said, "The roof looks great, and it's holding up very well, but the rest of the facility looks pale by comparison." So he asked him to paint the entire facility. Andrew told the new contractor that he hired about the deal, and they were jacked out of their minds excited and did the job. Halfway through the job, Public Storage's CEO, Ronald Havner Jr., was making a spot visit in Phoenix with the representative Andrew already knew. He really liked how the doors looked and suggested to the rep that they use ABR on other locations. And so between the Public Storage account and the leads from the trade show, Andrew grew his company exactly the way he dreamed he would. Andrew's company now serves 202 metropolitan service areas throughout the United States and all of the major cities throughout Canada. Not too bad, huh? Panabox is a company that manufactures corrugated shipping containers, probably one of the most mundane things you can think of in the world. David, the owner of the company, grew his company from $800,000 a month in sales to over $2.5 million a month in sales in less than a year and a half, using a strategy that we call the knockdown list. They had a powerful, underutilized innovation in that they could design, produce, and deliver custom boxes within 4 hours guaranteed. After researching their local market, we realized they had 116 competitors. Out of all of them, his competitor's best turnaround time was 7 days. Our desire was to expose their powerful competitive edge and create a knockdown list targeting manufacturing company purchasing agents. The message was geared towards the somewhat rare chance they might be caught up in a prior box order disaster where the supplier either didn't get the order in time or they themselves forgot to order, and their job was now on the line as potentially millions and millions of dollars in product was going to be held up in the warehouse instead of being shipped, potentially costing the company big customers. The direct message campaign increased sales from $700 a month to over $2.2 million a month within 8 months. Exactly 1 year later, David received a call stating that they had been receiving his postcards for a year now, and he wanted to know if his claim was indeed true that he could actually deliver custom boxes on his docks within 4 hours. David told him that it was indeed true, and that because of who he was, he would actually ride with the driver and deliver the boxes to their Irving, Texas location so they can meet in person. This just happened to be a little company called Nokia. David used the increased profitability to build his new state-of-the-art factory that allowed him to increase his production volume even further. Eventually, he reached his goal of $100 million a year in sales within the following 2 years.
Hi, my name's David Banker. I'm CEO and one of the owners of Panabox. We had reached a point to where we really weren't growing that much more. We were still growing 20% a year, but we had bigger plans. We were at $700,000 a month in sales, and everyone around here their thoughts were, why would we need a marketing company? What's the deal with that? Marketing company, David, you've always done all the marketing. They came in, put a marketing program together for us, and instantly, right away, I knew that what they were talking about would work, and it would work good for us. It's exactly what we needed to spur our company to grow faster, and there was a lot of people with some doubts as to the way that we were accomplishing it. But when you look at it, it made a lot of sense. I can't even begin to explain how good that the programs worked. I can't begin to explain. We're over at $2 million a month in sales now. And basically, just over a year, just a little over a year, we're at $2 million a month. And so far, year to date, we're at 50% more than what we were last year. And really, we're telling people right now that they're on a waiting list. Not only are we at $2 million a month in sales, but we have gotten rid of approximately $5 to $6 million a year in business that was not very profitable from the year before. As you can see, here's the facility that we were at just less than 2 years ago. And this is our new facility here, and it's the highest tech box company in Dallas-Fort Worth. I mean, we have conveyors that absolutely do everything. All the machinery is the highest tech machinery that you can get. And the marketing program has helped get us to this point. This year, we will do between $25 and $27 million in sales. Next year, I'm convinced that we're going to do $35 million a year in sales. This system truly is a business faucet. We can turn it on and turn it off when we want. If we want more business, we basically just turn it on and go full blast with the market. And so far this year, we've had to turn it off to keep our growth at just what we want to keep it at. It is the ultimate form of control in business.
We met with Dwayne Canova, the COO of eNalysis, back in 2002. Dwayne attended one of our marketing workshops and was interested in turning things around for his company. They were losing tremendous credibility with their shareholders as well as their supporting company relationships like Honeywell. They had been in business for 12 years engineering a pretty amazing HVAC quantification technology. It was a system of sensors that was strategically placed throughout the HVAC ductwork and airflow system. Once set up, the sensors would wirelessly communicate to a portable laptop and send measurement readings on airflow, pressure, temperature, humidity, etc. Based on the test, they could show homeowners how poorly their system really performed. 100% of the homes we tested rated fewer than 27% efficient. Now, up to this point, their best sales year to date was $930,000 in annual sales. The problem was they sold the system to HVAC contractors who in turn sold the services to homeowners like they were selling a wrench or something. It was just offered as an added service. Once completed, the contractor would hand the homeowner a report and they would explain what all the measurements meant. Then tell them to give them a call if they had any questions. That was it. We witnessed 4 relatively local contractors live in action as they went through their procedure. Each one of them treated it just like a procedure, too. The presentations were almost monotone, with only one household member present in 3 of the cases. After talking to the company's CEO, Eric Taylor, we knew we had to show them that HVAC contractors were like doctors. They were technicians and not theoretically salespeople. They were going to require some hand-holding guidance on how to position their presentation properly so that it became a powerful sales tool, proving to homeowners how terrible their HVAC system really performed and how much it was costing them year after year. So we built the presentation based on 5 customer value points. Number 1, that their customers would receive balanced, as close to perfect indoor air quality as could be possibly delivered by a home unit. That the solution would take care of the problem once and for all. That there would be no need for an upgrade or replacement a year later, that there would be a low-cost way of financing it, and that 53% of the fees would be paid for via the energy company and federal grants, and that obviously the results would be guaranteed at the end, delivering better overall value. We created a test market of 240 homes in Bakersfield, California, the Sun Belt of it all. And the hook was to get customers to call for a free in-home HVAC analysis. We took each family member on the airflow experience of their lifetime, engaging each member to self-expose the frailty of their current HVAC system, whether it was new or not. From the moment we rang the doorbell, each step was a methodical step closer to a close. The results, we increased new HVAC install ticket amounts from $3,500 to $7,200, which was absolutely unheard of. Contractors thought we were crazy, so we challenged them to try calling the same people and undercut us. Only one actually tried, and they failed miserably because he didn't have any quantification to prove his case. It worked so well that 82% of the analysis recipients bought an entirely new HVAC system replacement at $7,200 because they were so convinced. The typical bidding war that went on for our contractors absolutely vanished. In fact, we pitched to a local new home developer who built almost every single home within the 2 neighborhoods we worked. He was more than just a little bit ticked off that we were suggesting his installs were bad. He arrogantly told us he wanted to see the analysis himself. So we offered to conduct it on his own personal home. Understand, this was a house he built with his own two hands. We did the analysis, and his HVAC system failed to pass all the tests, grading his system with a 17% efficiency rating. The neat thing about the test was that it provided suggested solutions based on what areas were deficient. After reviewing all the information, he was finally convinced. He couldn't believe that his own system performed so poorly. He ended up replacing his entire system himself, following the suggested guidelines of the test. The combined results for the test market reignited Honeywell's dwindling interests, and the company investors who were previously intent on abandoning the company altogether decided it might be just worth it to stick another $12 million in for further product developments. Yes Golf was a fairly new golf manufacturing company marketing in the U.S. They had previously no current U.S. brand recognition whatsoever. Their primary approach was vested on trade shows, and they did their best to look just like all the other big names out there. The situation was that clubhouse pro shops didn't understand the value their seed groove putters offered, even though their putters were used to win 2 U.S. Opens and 3 PGA golf wins in 2004. They didn't know that the head weight, balance, and sweet spot design would lower a golfer's short game by 2 to 4 strokes on average. Like so many companies, Yes Golf had a tight budget and needed to create some real sales success. Our strategy was to expose the value proposition and develop brand recognition in the market where none really currently existed, and capture a significant audience at the same time. This was accomplished based on these points. The putter's design allowed the ball to roll true within 1 to 3 inches, so that no jumping or skipping occurred, which was fairly common based on the green in the short game. A golfer could gain 3 times greater accuracy and control over other putter designs. Even amateur golfers could now putt like the pros and finish on par. Like in the art of war, we chose to attack where they weren't. So we created a 30-second and 60-second video commercial primed for the Golf Channel, with an offer to download a free voucher and pick up a free Art of Championship Putting DVD by world-renowned putting instructor Harold Swash. The voucher instructed golfers to go to their local pro shop and try out the putter and ask for the free DVD. Only we didn't tell the local pro shop about the deal. It was a very gutsy, bold move where we created the demand before we asked for the sale. The company discovered that just for 1 month of Golf Channel ad placement, it was going to cost them $200,000, but they were intent on running it anyway. So whatever commercial we created, it had to absolutely make people jump out of their seats. Here's what happened. Customers flocked in like crazy asking local pro shops if they had the new seed groove putters and free DVDs. Within the first week that the commercial was released, pro shop managers immediately requested orders for the putters, DVDs, floor displays, and demo DVD equipment. The campaign was a huge success. The seed groove putter became the number 6 best-selling putter in the U.S. within 6 months, and our commercial was nominated for an AMA award that year. Take a moment to see the ad for yourself.
Which putter is used by top touring pros to win tournaments worldwide, winning 2 of the last 4 U.S. Opens and 3 PGA wins in 2004? It's the Sea Groove putter by Yes Golf. When a conventional putter face hits the ball, it reacts violently, causing the ball to actually skid, bounce, and skip for the first 11 to 27 inches instead of rolling true, resulting in missed putts, burned cups, and added strokes, regardless of proper alignment, smooth tempo, or good technique. The Yes Golf putter's patented Sea Groove technology rolls true immediately, within 1 to 3 inches. Tour testing proves 3 times greater accuracy and more putts made, period. Now you too can putt like the pros. Demo a Sea Groove putter at your local retailer and get this free instructional DVD, The Art of Championship Putting, by Europe's renowned putting doctor Harold Swash, teacher to 9 of the 12 European 2004 Ryder Cup champions. This $49 DVD is free just for trying the Sea Groove today.
A1 Absolute Movers was started by a feisty German immigrant named Bettina Bennett. Her moving company had an unbelievable operational management system, and just after attending one seminar where we rewrote her Yellow Pages ad live right there during the event, she gained tremendous leverage. The purpose of the ad was to tactfully expose the lack of integrity and ethics of other moving companies based on 5 subpoints. 1. Many movers were only insured for accidental furniture breakage by the pound. So if they dropped your $7,500 antique armoire, you might collect $12 per pound. So the value point there was getting real insurance. Next, they needed to be bonded, as some movers would collect half the money up front before the move and then never show up on move day. They needed to have a good business standing, perhaps an independent organization like the Better Business Bureau. Customers were advised to get 2 price quotes and to get a guaranteed move price, as often the price quoted was not the price asked for on move day when you have no other options. Understand, we extracted all of this information from her live at the workshop. Let's see, what else? The ad needed to show evidence to support her claims. So we developed a list of 15 questions for consumers to ask any moving company to test their honesty and ability to perform and deliver. We told Bettina that she was going to need an evidence packet that included copies of her proof of insurance, her bond, business information, and things like that. The results? Our Yellow Page ad increased her monthly call volume on average of 145 calls to an average of 955 calls, and increased her sales volume by 1,000% after 90 days. She had an 85% conversion ratio over the phone. We increased her direct mail response by 300%, getting a 5% response rate by mailing out an exact copy of the ad, only in an envelope. All for a little bit more in ad size invested. Now that's what I call leverage. Her monthly sales volume went from $10,000 a month to almost $150,000 a month until she finally sold out just 10 months later. Talk about the American dream. Top Brass was the second largest coin-operated pool table, air hockey, and foosball manufacturer in the world. They had been in business for 27 years, and they were losing customers to competitors who would knock off their products and sell them direct. Their business was so affected that they went from $40 million a year in gross sales down to $22 million, all within 3 years. We're talking significant loss here. Coin-operated tables were like food vending machines in that operators would buy them and put them in bars and pizza parlors and youth locations and occasionally check in just to empty the coin box. Their only interest was to make money and do it as cheaply as possible. So the purpose of our program was to prove that their tables made operators more money based on the fact that they could collect more money per play and command a higher price from 75 cents to $1 per play. That due to the quality of the table, they would likely get more plays per week, and that more higher class locations would like the look of the table so they could capture more new locations, and because of the quality and durability, there would be less breakdown and downtimes, less cost, more money, and that the tables would actually last longer. We gathered evidence in the way of articles from Dallas Morning News, testimonial letters from active operators and players, interviews with club owners, and we created charts for quickly calculating what their increased profits would be like based on their investment. The marketing strategy quickly started getting surprise orders from previously devout operators who always bought from their competitors. Many of the existing operators who were working with older tables upgraded to the dollar per play tables. The company was able to cut the number of trade shows they attended down from 12 shows a year to only 5 shows a year because the volume of new leads saved them big money. They went from losing money every month to a $7 million profit in just 10 months. And they later bought out their major competitor, Valley Tables, 18 months down the road. We also have Annette Gardner, the president of American Billing System. They are located in Austin, Texas. We helped them increase their profitability by more than 6 times in less than 1 year, all while sticking to her tight advertising budget of $180,000 a month. I wish I had time to tell you more about a little plumbing company that changed their advertising strategy, which took them from $20,000 a month to $180,000 a month in sales in just 20 months. Or a franchising company that used these strategies and found that they were able to increase their price of their franchise license by 80% and actually recruit more new franchisees at the same time. I could go on and on and on with case study after case study until you couldn't stand to hear it anymore. These are all real-life stories about clients and seminar attendees that have really used these principles and strategies we teach. They've invested real money implementing these ideas, and they've reaped huge real-life rewards in the way of profits and changes, and chances are we can create real success for you too. Thanks for watching.